Welcome to all B.Sc. third year student of Fishery Science. Boys, we are studying the important commercial fishery of Indian coastal waters. In this important commercial fisheries, we are studying the mackerel fishery of India, and today we have completed the last point of this mackerel fishery of India, that is fishery and utilization of mackerel. How much mackerel production these are to be occur from Indian east and west coast, and those mackerel these are to be caught, these are to be captured from east coast and west coast of India. These fishes these are to be used as a food in fresh condition, but when these are to be captured on large quantities, surplus quantities of mackerel these are to be captured, then this surplus quantity of mackerel it can be converted into number of different byproduct. This is to be we have seen today, that is fishery and utilization of mackerel. Last period we have seen the nets craft which is to be used to capture the mackerel fishery. The famous net which is to be used, that is the rampani net, and this rampani net these are to be operated to capture the mackerel shoals on west coast as well as on east coast, and its structure and operation of rampani net we have seen last period. Now we have seen the today fishery utilization of these mackerel. In this mackerel fishery, the gears which is to be employed, gears which is to be used, in gears which is to be used to capture these mackerel fishery, in gears boat chains, that is odamwala, gears boat chain it is also called as pattuwala, koliwala. These are the different names of the boat chain, that is odamwala, pattuwala and koliwala. That is in these three nets, odamwala, pattuwala, koliwala. Odam is the name of boat which is to be operated on that particular craft, particular boat. Pattu is the particular name and Koli is also particular name. But Wala being the Wala, V-A-L-A, Wala being the name of net. Locally that areas, that place. Wala means the net. Odamwala, the net which is to be operated on Odam, that's why it is called as Odamwala. Pattuwala, the Pattu net these are to be operated, hence it is called as Pattuwala. Koliwala, the net which is to be operated on Koli area, that is called as Koliwala. These are the different boat chains. Then drift net, this drift net is also called as Pite Bale. It is called as Pite Bale. Gill net, it is called as Aliya Chelawala. Gill net is called as Aliya Chelawala. Cast net is called as Pag net. Means all these are the different local names according to the different areas, different coastal areas, different catching areas. These catching areas net have different local names according to their fisherman's condition, according to their facility or availability and its popularity. Availability and its popularity, the net name is to be given. That may be Pag net, that may be Aliya Chelawala, that may be Pate Bale, that may be Pattuwala, that may be Koliwala, that may be Odamwala. These are the different names according to the local conditions of the fishing and local fishermen's different places, different areas. These names these are to be variable, these are to be different from area to area, and these different nets, these different gears, these are to be employed, these are to be used on large scale to capture mackerel fishery from west coast as well as from east coast. Then next point, catches and annual fluctuations. Catches and annual fluctuations of mackerel, transport and marketing of mackerel. Catches and annual fluctuations, annual to annual, these mackerel, these are to be fluctuate. How these captured fishes, these are to be transport, and how these are to be marketed in different marketplace. The annual mackerel catches, the annual mackerel catches for the 22-year periods 1958 to 1979 in India were found to vary between highest catch of that is 2,04,575 tons, forming 17.6%. Here is, remember that, yes, spelling mistake, it is to be not gona, it is the ton. This is the ton, forming the 17.6% in 1971, and lowest catch of 21,703 tons, forming 2.3% of the total marine catch production in 1968. Those mackerel which is to be captured, those mackerel which is to be caught in Indian region, highest mackerel which is to be captured in 1971 and it is to be 17.6%, contribute to 2,04,575 ton fishes, these are to be caught, these are to be captured. Whereas lowest mackerel which is to be captured, caught in 1968 and it is to be just 21,000 ton fishes, these are to be caught, these are to be captured, which constitute 2.3%. In 1958, 1960, 1970, 1971 and 1972, in these years the catches exceeded 1 lakh tons. Catches, these are to be more than 1 lakh tons, and they may have, these catches they may have more than 1 lakh tons. They may be considered extremely productive. In which year? In 1958, 1960, 1970, 1971, 1972. In these years, mackerel which is to be caught, mackerel which is to be captured in Indian region, these mackerel, these are to be extremely high production, more than 1 lakh ton fishes, these are to be caught, these are to be captured. These are the extremely productive years. The years 1962, 1964, 1966, 1967 and 1968, these years, those mackerel which is to be caught, captured, these mackerel, these are the poor catches, these are to be captured, poor fishes, these are to be landed in the year 1962, 1964, 1966, 67 and 68, and these are to be less than 35,000 ton fishes, these are to be caught, these are to be captured, and it is to be a range of 2.3 to 5% total marine production. 2.3 to 5% means the mackerel which is to be caught, mackerel which is to be captured, more productive 1958, 60, 70, 71, 72. Whereas the mackerel which is to be less productive, less mackerel which is to be captured in 62, 1964, 66, 67 and 68. It is to be just 2.3 to 5%. Whereas highest catch is to be 17.6%, and these total marine production, total mackerel production is to be observed, which is to be studied by the worker. The cause of this fluctuation, why this fluctuation, these are to be occur. Some year these mackerel, these are to be caught, captured on more than exceed 1 lakh tons, whereas in some year the mackerel, these are to be caught, captured below 35,000 or below, that is 21,000 ton fishes, these are to be caught, captured. Such fluctuation, why it is to be occur? Which are the causes, which are the reasons behind to such fluctuation? The causes of this fluctuation could be noted by several workers, several investigators, it is to be put forth that late onset of monsoon and hydrobiological changes in the coastal water. These hydrobiological changes in coastal waters and onset of monsoon, these are the two probable causes, probable reasons. Due to this hydrobiological changes of water and monsoon condition, it may be affect on the annual catch of mackerel in less productive year as well as the more productive year. When these are to be in proper range, in proper condition, then these are to be a good way, in a good range. The causes of this fluctuation could be several, such as late onset of monsoon, hydrobiological changes in coastal waters, especially those affecting plankton, food of the inshore waters, and relative abundance of oil sardine, which are the potent competitors of mackerel on the planktonic food. Some worker, it is to be noted that it is to be studied that the mackerel, these are to be caught, these are to be captured, and its fluctuation is to be variable, fluctuate. Why such fluctuation these are to be seen, it is to be occur? Probable cause is to be onset of monsoon, hydrobiological changes in the coastal water, especially which are those affecting on plankton food material. Plankton food material, because in inshore waters the relative abundance of the oil sardine and relative abundance of the mackerel, these two species, mackerel and sardine, these are the competitor to each other. These are the competitor to each other. When mackerel, these are to be more in number, sardine, these are to be less in number. When sardine, these are to be more in number, mackerel, these are to be less in number, and it may be affect on the mackerel production. It may be a probable cause for the fluctuation, because planktonic food, both fishes, mackerel and sardine, these both fishes, these are to be probably depend upon the planktonic food material which is to be available in inshore waters of oceans and seas, and both these are the competitor to each other. That's why it may be affect, it may be seen such fluctuation. It is well known that good year for oil sardine is bad year for mackerel fishery. It is a well known, it is to be reported that number of workers, number of investigators studied that it is to be well known that a good year of oil sardine is bad year for mackerel, and a good year for is mackerel is the bad year for sardine. Means these are the competitor and these are the vice versa condition. Vice versa condition, suppose mackerel, these are to be in good quantity, maximum abundance, then sardine, these are to be less. When sardine, these are to be in good abundance, mackerel is to be less. Means these two species, sardine and mackerel, these two species, these are the competitor to each other, and when one competitor is dominant, another is to be less dominant. When another is to be dominant, first is to be less dominant, or it is to be less. Such condition, these are to be occur, these are to be seen, and due to this fluctuations of mackerel, these are to be observed in coastal waters of India, coastal regions of Indian region. The region-wise landing of mackerel shows that the production is highest from the Karnataka coast. And this Karnataka coast, these are to be landed near about 38% of the total mackerel, these are to be caught, these are to be captured the Karnataka state. And in Indian marine production, 38% of the mackerel which is to be caught, captured from the Karnataka state, and this Karnataka state is the first state. Karnataka is the first state which is to be caught, captured highest mackerel production in state-wise landing, in state-wise catching. Next to the Karnataka state, Kerala ranks next with very high catches. Next to the Karnataka, Kerala state is the second maximum mackerel which is to be caught, captured from the Kerala state. Karnataka and Kerala together give about 72% of total mackerel production. Remember, these two states, which are these two states? One is the Karnataka and second is the Kerala. Karnataka and Kerala, these two states, one is the Karnataka and second is the Kerala. These two states, these are to be contribute how much? These are to be contribute to near about 72%. Near about 72% mackerel production. These are to be caught. These are to be captured from only these two states. Karnataka state first, next to the Karnataka, Kerala state. Along the Goa coast, mackerel production is again fairly high, ranking third in regional production. Regional wise, state wise landing, when state wise fish catching, these are to be studied. When state wise fishes, these are to be caught, these are to be captured. In this state wise fish catching, first Karnataka, second Kerala, and third, that is the Goa, which is a small state. Coastal area is to be very small, short. Then also in this Goa coastal area, Goa coastal belt, near about 12% of mackerel catches, 12% of mackerel production which is to be caught, captured from the Goa coast. Means 12% Goa and 72% Karnataka and Kerala, means near about these three states, Karnataka, Kerala and Goa. Karnataka, Kerala and Goa, these are to be caught, these are to be captured near about 85% of mackerel. These are to be caught, these are to be captured from only these three states. Next to the Goa, Maharashtra production of mackerel forming about only 4%. In Maharashtra production state wise, in Maharashtra only 4% of mackerel which is to be caught, which is to be captured, and this 4% mackerel catches, these are to be very less or much less as compared to the Goa coast, as compared to the Karnataka or Kerala coast. Kerala coast. This Maharashtra coastal areas, the production of mackerel, these are to be for less reason that north of Ratnagiri, the mackerel is practically non-existent. North of Ratnagiri mackerel fish is non-existent. Nearly 90% of mackerel comes from the west coast centers. 90% of mackerel production, mackerel catches, these are to be caught, captured from the west coast of India, and on the east coast production is to be again very less or very fairly good, but it is to be less as compared to the west coast. Among east coast, fairly good production of mackerel, these are to produce, captured, from which Tamil Nadu forming 5.7%, Tamil Nadu forming 5.7% mackerel, these are to be caught, captured. Next to the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh 2.5%. Next to the Andhra Pradesh, Pondicherry, it is to be 1.5%. Means on east coast, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Pondicherry, these states are on east coast less than 10% mackerel or less than 10% mackerel production, these are to be caught, these are to be captured. Means state wise landing, these are to be, we have seen, we have studied. It is indicate that from state wise, regional wise landing, it is to be noted that is Karnataka is the first state which is to be high production. Next to the Karnataka, that is Kerala. Both these Karnataka and Kerala constitute 72% mackerel production. Then next to these two, Karnataka and Kerala, Goa is to be catching 12% of mackerel. Next to the Goa, that is from Maharashtra, only 4% which is to be less, because north to the Ratnagiri, this mackerel is to be non-existent, and that's why in Maharashtra fishery is to be not practically working, not practically catching, because it is a non-existent. Means nearly 90% of fishes, these are to be caught, these are to be captured from Karnataka, Kerala, Goa and from Maharashtra. Means 90% of mackerel which is to be caught, captured from west coast of India, and only 10% of mackerel which is to be caught, captured from the east coast of India. In this east coastal area, in this east coast regional areas, Tamil Nadu is the highest production from east coast, it is to 5.7%. Next to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh 2.5%, and next to the Andhra Pradesh, Pondicherry, which is to be caught, captured 1.5%. All these are to be constitute less than 10% of mackerel, which is to be caught, captured from the east coast. Means state-wise landing, only 10% fishes these are to be caught, captured from east coast, and 90% fishes these are to be caught from the west coast of India. And it is indicated that from coastal region, coast-wise or the regional-wise mackerel production on east coast is more productive and or less productive. On east coast it is to be less productive, and on west coast it is to be high production of mackerel, which is to be produced to the total all India marine fish landing. To the total all India marine fish landing. Depending upon the transport facilities available, a portion of the mackerel landing is diverted from the fishing center to the local and Bombay market for consumption in fresh state. Depending upon the transport facilities, those fishermen which is to be use the boat ships to capture these mackerel in inshore water as well as the offshore water, and transport facilities. These transport facilities these are to be provided that when fishes these are to be caught, these are to be captured, landed. These captured fishes immediately when enter into the market, then these fishes these are to be in fresh condition, and when it is to be in fresh condition, it is to be used as a food for human being, and more demand these are to be occur, more fishes these are to be used as a food. But as these fishes these are to be captured, these fishes these are to be landed in ships, and these ships these are to be shipping these are to be done, expedition these are to be done 10 days, 15 days or 1 month in seas and ocean, then these fishes these are to be not fresh, but these are the preserved fishes in ice or in, that is, a cold storage. In cold storage, then these fishes these are to be not got a market value in fresh condition, because these are to be captured in 1 month before, and when these are to be captured 1 month before, due to the freezing storage, their condition these are to be used in fresh condition, these are to be not consumed on a large scale. That's why, depending upon the transport facility available, maximum portion of the mackerel landing is diverted from the fishing centers to the local and Bombay market for consumption as a food or in a fresh state. About half of the landing finds way to curing yards. About half of the landing finds way to curing yards. Mackerels are salted, then cured or curd, pickled, smoked or canned. Those half of the mackerel these are to be used as food. Remaining half of the mackerel they can use in curing yards. They can sun dried on yards. These mackerel these are to be salt, cured, these are to be pickled, these are to be smoked, or these are to be canned. That is curd, curing, pickled, smoked or canning. These are the various preservative methods, and with this preservative method, bumper landing, bumper catching of mackerel, these are to be used different preservative methods, and they can convert it into that may be pickled, that may be smoked, or that may be canned condition. In the years of bumper landing, mackerels are used for production of fish meals. When mackerel these are to be large in quantities catching in bumper landing years, this mackerel these are to be used as a food for meals for cattle or poultry, or used as a manufacture of fish guano for use in coconut, coffee, tea and sugar cane plantations as a manure. When surplus quantity of mackerel these are to be captured, bumper mackerel catching these are to be occur, it is to be used as a food for cattle and poultry. It is to be converted into fish meals for cattle and poultry, or others. Suppose again it is to be in surplus quantity, it is to be manufactured as a fish guano to use in a money plantation for coffee, tea, tobacco, sugar cane or other different plantation. These are to be used as a manure. It is to be used as a, and it is a high and costly manure, very nutritious manure. With in this way, the two commercial fisheries. In this way, the two commercial fisheries as Indian oil sardine. In this, with this The two commercial fisheries as Indian oil sardine and mackerel contribute near about 50% of the all Indian marine fish production, and hence these are the important commercial marine fisheries of India. These important, hence not hence, hence these are the two important commercial fisheries of India. That is, first is the Indian oil sardine, which is to be caught captured 30%, and to the mackerel it is to be caught captured more than, that is 20. Today, in present time, these two species or these two commercial fishes, that is the sardine and mackerel, it caught in Indian regions more than 50% of commercial production, or to the total all India marine production, which is to be captured, which is to be caught from the Indian regions. And these two commercial fishes, these are to be solve the problem of food, solve the problem of manure, and when these are to be surplus quantity, bumper catching, these are to be done. This bumper catching, these are to be converted into number of preservative methods, pickled, canning, smoking, or sun drying, or curing, and these surplus quantity, these are to be used as a different fish manure, fish guano, or other different fish meals, and these fish manure, fish guano, or fish meal, these are to be used as poultry, cattle, as well. It is to be used as a good manure for money plantation, that is as coconut, coffee, tea, sugar cane. These money plantation, these are to be used as a manure, and when these are to be more productive, it is to be good production, and which is to be help to the increase of Indian earning, Indian nations. And when Indian earning, these are to be increased day by day, it is the important support to fishermen as well as for nations earning. With this, we have complete, that is the Indian mackerel fishery. With this, these two fishes, sardine and mackerel, we have completed two important commercial fisheries of India. With this, we seen and completed these fishes, commercial fishes. Any problem, please ask. Thank you, all of you.